Hey y'all, got some questions here. I'm going to try and show you what I'm looking at here, my thought process, just to kind of get another perspective before I just totally tear this guitar apart. You know, the neck reset is not something I've actually mastered as of yet, and I think this would be a good option. So far on this guitar, I took off the bridge and then put that back on. I glued it back, the whole process with that. That's good. But when I put the strings on it, they were real high. The neck angle is, not over the bridge. It's like kind of right to the curve there of the bridge, or a little bit lower. So, to me that indicates that and the neck is flat and that kind of thing. That indicates the neck angle is higher than it needs to be. So to take the neck off, if you look in here, the truss rod actually goes through the bracing of the top. There's actually like this first brace here, right where the truss rod is. It's hard to do this in the mirror. And then there's actually another block behind here that touches the neck block. I know that's really, really challenging to see, but so it's my thought process to actually get this neck off this guitar. I'm actually going to have to remove the fretboard, which this is painted black. There's no actual line here, for me to use the X-Acto blade, kind of cut them to separate them in the first place, and then to be able to remove the neck or the fretboard, which would allow me to see the truss rod, potentially pull the truss rod out from this end to pull it out, right? And then I'd be able to use the foam heater to go down in the joint, heat that up, and then actually be able to remove the neck to then, sand off this bottom edge, to allow me to kick it back a little bit. What are the things I need to be thinking about here? I do intend to take and do the measurements to put into the calculation to figure out how much I actually have to remove. Before I take anything off. And I'm just kind of seeking a little bit of guidance here. I've attempted one neck reset on a Silvertone and it completely failed. So I'm just kind of really struggling with that. I have videos on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, of me doing that work, if you're interested in that, but that's not really why I'm here. Just trying to figure out just how challenging of a neck reset this guy will be. All right, thanks for your thoughts, and let me know if you have questions. And this is a Burswood acoustic guitar, just so you know. I got this for free, and so it's a good candidate for doing this. And I think it, when I had strings on it, although it had really high action, it sounded pretty decent, for a lower end guitar. One other thought that I have is I've pondered whether it'd be best to just sand down the bridge, make it thinner. But it looks like the bridge plate underneath here is, I don't know if that's maple or if that's actually spruce. So I don't want to be removing a bunch of, maybe that is maple. It's hard to tell, in this mirror. But sanding down the bridge, I don't want to be taking out the structure that's needed, and then we're having top bellying and stuff like that. But I know that would be much easier to take and sand that down. You know what I mean? Just take off the top, whatever I need to be able to get it back into playable condition. But that would be probably rerouting the saddle slot, which I don't necessarily have the tools to do. I mean, I have a Dremel. I probably have something about this width, or that could cut this, but I don't necessarily have a plunge router that sits right. I have the Dremel plunge router, which kind of sucks. So I probably want to buy like the StewMac, routing base for the Dremel to do this. So yeah, lots of kind of questions, and I do appreciate any thoughts on this. Peace.